Michel Barnier insisted the remaining EU 27 states would not pay for the burden of Britain's decision to leave the bloc after the latest round of exit negotiations. Speaking after the fourth round of talks, Mr Davis reiterated in his own address to the media that the UK was making decisive steps forward. A body language expert, Professor Alan Laurent Verbeke, claimed the EU's chief negotiator was more credible in Brexit negotiations so far. Looking at an image of the first round of talks, he told DW Barnier is more credible than Davis to me. Getty DWA body language expert claimed Michel Barnier was more credible than Davis just by looking, you see, and listening to him. You see Barnier constantly in a consistent message. His words are often very prudent. He is hesitating. There are moments where he is really expressing that, and his body language is also that. The professor then claimed the UK's Brexit secretary, Mr Davis, came close to being fake during some footage of early talks. He added, Davis, you get at some moments, he comes close to fake. Because he is too positive, too happy. This is a very happy face. It could be an incredible birthday party. The feet are interesting because they are far from the brains, you cannot control them. Here you can see Davis. His feet are really pointing towards Barnier. Barnier is more credible than Davis to me. Alan Laurent Verbeke. The reporter Georg Mathers suggested this was a sign that on a personal level things could move forward. Mr Barnier told the media that Britain had made decisions with serious consequences by deciding to leave the bloc's single market and customs union. He said, my job is to simply make sure that we find the ways and means for an orderly withdrawal. That is an agreement with the United Kingdom, at the point where they leave, which is much better than leaving without an agreement, and that we do it by protecting the interests of the 27. Friday, September 22, 2017, British Prime Minister Theresa May gestures as she delivers her speech in Florence, and that we make sure the European taxpayer doesn't have to carry the burden of the decisions taken by the citizens of the United Kingdom. During his own speech to the media, Mr Davis addressed the EU's key issue of citizens' rights by announcing those who have permanent residency in the UK will not need to reapply. Mr Davis also said British courts would take into account EU law, claiming the foundations for his proposals were to end the anxiety of EU citizens in the UK. The Brexit secretary claimed the teams had completed very constructive talks on the financial settlement, adding there was scope to explore a transitional deal.